Today is Friday, June 23rd, 2017. My name is Ethan.
My name is Anthony.
And we are two skinny dudes, and this is the show where we talk about movies, music, and video games. So, Anthony, why don't you get us started out with what's going on in the world of video games?
Video games!
Wow, you're very excited.
Video games. So we have... I'll save the sad news or the controversial news to the end, okay?
Please do.
I will. I'll leave that the audience on the edge of their seats for that one. We had Far Cry 5 had I don't know if any of the audience has ever seen those trailers where a movie will show all their like accolades. They're called accolades trailers. They're like #1 movie in America, best movie by IGN, right? Well, Far Cry 5 already had one of those trailers, and the game hasn't even come out yet. So here's what it was. It was the best of E3. That was their niche. They were saying that there was like GameSpot's #1 of E3, and then you had IGN's like most hyped game of E3, a best of E3, from all the Kotaku and all these video game reviewer sites that they pay money to.
That's ridiculous, though. I mean, that's like if 50 Shades of Grey came out with a trailer that said most watched trailer on YouTube. You know what I mean?
And then let's see if we can. It's like those videos, like, see if we can get this video to 1 million likes, you guys.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the actual quality of the game itself or the caliber of the product that you're getting. Unlike nominated for 12 Academy Awards or Game of the Year or anything like that.
Yeah, and so, but look, okay, so we got actual gameplay at E3 for Far Cry 5, because our loyal fans will remember 2 episodes ago we talked about how the game just kind of sounded stupid.
Yeah, it's the cult Midwest America thing.
Yeah,
right?
cult Midwest America. You are trying to figure out what this cult's doing, and also you get like this machete preacher ally. Everything's obviously really good. Quality game. And so for it, like the game looked like fans were very worried about the game. They don't like the look of it, like it looks pretty okay, but there was another game that had like a very similar criticism. It looks like it's just a generation too old. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for Call of Duty World at War II or whatever, World War II, WW2. I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I have not.
It looks like a PS3 game at sometimes.
And we're already on the dawn of the Xbox One X. So...
Dude, you laugh, but no one's gonna buy that. I thought I could come back with something, but no one is gonna buy that. No one's gonna buy that game, or that system, and. Which really is sad because there are some actual exclusives, unlike the false exclusives we talked about last time.
Right, you got Halos, you got your Forzas.
Yeah, and there's this really cute one that looks like a Rareware game, mainly because I think it's a Rareware game. And it's just like this it's like this like cute little fox, and he's got like he looks like Tails but better, but like a better version of Tails from Sonic.
Hey, don't knock nails. What? Don't knock nails.
I won't knock nails, dude. I wouldn't want to hurt my hands.
Did you know that Tails' real name is Miles per hour? Like miles per hour? It's a speed joke because it's Sonic the Hedgehog.
You're a speed joke.
Okay.
But I forget where I was going. Oh yeah, the cute game that you so rudely interrupt me from. It looked great. It looked like a really good game. But the problem is no one's going to buy an Xbox One X to play games they could play on a PS4 for $250.
Yeah,
rather than double the price.
So people aren't excited about Far Cry 5.
No. Oh. Starship Commander. Do you know what that is?
Is it a Steam game?
Starship Commander is the game that has grossed over. I think it's like.
Yes, I have heard about this. Yes,
they've grossed like $60 million.
Yeah, and it's on like Kickstarter.
It's on like Kickstarter, and it's continually being made, and they just keep getting more and more and more and more money. And there was this guy who got to like play. I don't know if it's out. I don't know if it's like closed beta, open beta. I don't know how it's working because it's being continually worked on. I don't know if it's out already. People's like because like there's that whole we want the game thing. So I don't know what the deal is. Like if it's out already.
This sounds a lot like No Man's Sky to me.
It doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yep.
Sounds like a lot of hype for something that can't deliver.
Yep.
Speaking of No Man's Sky, IGN put out a list on Snapchat the other day called like top 10 most like relaxing games to play, and No Man's Sky was on there because what do you do in No Man's Sky?
Nothing.
Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. It was just really weird because like the game looks great, but there was this guy, I guess, who got to play it, and he was talking about, I think, VR. Who isn't trying to do VR these days? And he said that there was voice control in it. And so he would say, like, computer, pull up statistics on the ship or whatever, and it would do it. And there was this part where he had to have a conversation with someone, right? And then they bargained with him, and they were like, all right, if you take me to this system, I won't kill you. Which, just regular video game talk. Totally innocent. But the thing that the article said, because this article was from, who was it from? I think it was from GameSpot. And they said that voice control is the future of gaming, and how they have inside information to say that Microsoft has been working on a voice controller. So, like, I would say A, B, X, Y, X, Y, A, B, A, B, X, Y, and it would do that.
Well, why would you want that? That's
Exactly. It's inconsistent, right?
Yeah.
Unless you have like professional grade quality microphones, and even then they might not know what, like, as a controller. And then there was this talk of like, what if you could just say, like, if you were playing Street Fighter 5 and you said block, attack, kick, combo 2, combo 1, whatever, your hands are faster than your voice.
Yeah, I mean your voice isn't as fast as your thumbs, but your thumbs aren't as smart or as fast as your brain. So
there's just like this latency.
It's worse than what is already a hindrance.
It's like saying, what would be new and inventive? Wii motion controls.
Hey, Wii motion controls were great.
Hey, dude, don't even get me Wii Motion Plus. Anyone remember that?
I play Wii Sports Resort every day.
Resort? You play the Resort one?
No, I'm not a loser.
What's wrong with you?
Anything.
Oh, well, you do have a Wii U, so.
Anthony has a Switch.
That's true. I actually do like the Wii U, but I mean, I wouldn't blame it if they just gave you Wii Sports Resort for free. Now on to the somewhat controversial news. The Seattle Police Department has a program called FuzzFeed 206. I think 206 is like the area code or whatever.
And what?
Hey, this actually is a good program.
I know, but why is it called FuzzFeed 206?
Because they're the fuzz.
I got it. Yeah,
they're the fuzz,
it's still
dude.
Stupid.
Like, geez, man, the fuzz.
Okay, go ahead.
And they 2 or 3 police officers. They're on Twitch and they play Destiny.
Good for them.
And they like talk to the community. And like it's supposed to be like community outreach, right? So like they'll like all like the young kids and like young teenagers will like all watch them and be like interact, like, oh, that's Officer Daniels. I know him. He's a friend of mine. And it invites them to be like, the officers aren't just these people who are above me or whatever. They're part of my community and I should be able to trust them. And so I thought that was really nice. And the program was meant to deal with issues. So if someone be like, I don't understand why, I got pulled over, and be like, well, what did the officer say? And then they can help people resolve issues, stuff like that. It's really cool. It's community outreach. It's not the most practical way to do it, but it is. It's embracing a newer generation. But one officer was talking about this woman who got shot, and I don't want to mess up her name, so one moment. I didn't write down her name.
It's not important.
It's not important. I mean, I don't want to.
I mean, she's just like dead.
She just died. But it was a fatal shooting. Apparently, she had mental disabilities. And
delightful.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm bringing the podcast down. But there he got like the officer and like the whole police department took the video down and suspended the program because while he was talking about the woman, he was playing the video game. Now,
So he was shooting aliens.
no,
Oh.
the video game was just on.
Oh. Okay, that's fine. I mean,
He was not engaging in anything. He was just like on like a start menu.
Yeah, I mean that's the only way that you can do anything on Twitch in the first place, can't you? You have to be playing a game to some degree.
You have to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, I could sit there and be like, "Hey guys, I'm a daily." I mean, well, only girls who have a certain number of assets can do this, but they're like, "I'm just a daily vlogger. Tell me about your life." You know, they'll sit there and I've seen this. Okay, this isn't something I'm making up. They'll just sit in front of a camera that I guess their parents paid for, and they'll just be like, "All right, guys. Well, this is what I did today." Right? It's like daily vlogging, and then they're like, "Okay, now you guys tell me what you did," and then they'll read the comments, like, "That's so funny. Give me some money."
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, if you can do that, go ahead.
But the police department wasn't trying to get people's money. They turned off donations. I believe they had the best intentions, but I guess he was just the officer. He's just one officer, you know. Like he doesn't speak for the entire. He's not the police chief.
Yeah.
He's not the commissioner. He didn't speak for the entire department, and yet they shut down the entire, program because of one backlash. Because headlines were saying, "Man plays Destiny while talking about fatal shooting from police department." You know, they call him a spokesman. You know, and I guess he was that because his job was community outreach. But I didn't get all the flack he was getting, you know, and that I don't think they should shut the program down because it was providing good, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, unless he was actively spitting on her grave while he was talking about her, which I imagine he wasn't.
Yeah.
It may not have been the best venue for that sort of scenario, but it's not that big of a deal, I don't think, to shut it all down.
Of course, Ethan. All right, so that's all we have for video game news. There was nothing really interesting else that came out of E3, unless you care about Madden 18 version 2.
Hey, shut your mouth! I love Madden more than anything.
Yeah.
All right, but we got a lot of movie news, like a lot, and this is the first time that we've have actually like huge news on our show.
We've had huge news.
Sure, we've had interesting news, but this is really big.
Okay,
so. Han Solo the movie.
Oh, is this what? Okay, to give the audience transparency, I try and avoid all movie news before Ethan comes over because we like to get fresh takes on everything, so that way we don't fake a reaction or whatever. I saw a headline that says Star Wars in peril, and I avoided it. So I'm about to get the same reaction you guys are.
Well, they're in some serious peril, I'll tell you that much. So Han Solo, the spin-off film, which comes out...
I was so excited for.
Comes
out
so
excited for.
Next year, May 25th, 2018.
Next year?
Yeah. With 3 weeks left in principal photography.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be done here.
They fired the two directors that were in charge of the movie.
What?
Yes.
The Lego movie directors?
Yeah, they had Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who are basically top of the rock right now. And over creative differences, they fired them. With 3 weeks left in principal photography. And they have 5 weeks of reshoots plus those 3 weeks. And they brought in Ron Howard to direct the last little bit of stretch.
Who is Ron Howard?
All right, well, here's the deal. Ron Howard has directed some pretty good movies. You know, he did A Beautiful Mind, he has Cinderella Man, and he did Rush, which is a pretty good film. But his last two movies...
Rush with Eric Clapton's... Oh, crap. Give me a minute.
You don't have a minute. You're on the spot.
Tears in
What?
Heaven. Tears in Heaven.
Okay, great. But his last two movies were Inferno, the third...
Oh, no.
The third film in
That movie lost,
yes.
like, $60 million?
Yeah, and I didn't see Inferno, but I did see In the Heart of the Sea, which was the Moby Dick movie, and it was fine. You know, it was just boring, and that's his most action-y movie he's done yet. And they just... I mean, he's a safe choice. He's not going to...
Wait a minute. So, here's some film history for you guys. Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. Oh, no. It wasn't... What was the third one? Do you remember?
Are you talking about... What are you talking about?
The director... So, there was one of the later Superman
second
movies.
one.
Second one, sorry. Where the director, like at the end of filming, or like towards the end of filming, he quit because he was like, this film is going to be awful. So they brought in a new director, and he had to do. Or no, I think the first director was fired. Sorry, and he had to reshoot just about everything just to get director's credit, right?
Yeah.
So this whole 5 weeks of reshoots, 3 weeks of principal photography, he doesn't have enough time to get everything that
you're right.
Chris and Phil
They've
done.
It's absurd. It's absolutely nonsensical. Honestly,
the actors aren't going to be there.
Here's first, yeah, you make a good point. Like, first of all, can you imagine showing up to set on Monday? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, they fired our directors that we've been working with since the beginning. Does this seem a little weird to anyone? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
everyone liked the directors.
Yeah, I was against the idea of a Han Solo movie from the very beginning.
Really?
Yes, I thought it was a horrible idea. But the only thing that had me interested was Phil Lord and Chris Miller, because they have a very unique style. They did the Lego movie, they did the Jump Street movies.
They're very idiosyncratic directors.
Yeah, and they're terrific. And style is something that Star Wars needs right now. I mean, Rogue One, I loved Force Awakens. Rogue One I liked, but most of my issues with it were found in the editing room. The editing was really choppy, and a lot of the reshoots, which were a hot topic at the time, really kind of worked to its detriment. And I really don't want to see that happen with Han Solo now, but I'm not going to be an optimist about this. It's horrible news.
Okay, who's all in the film again? You got Donald Glover, who's playing Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, you have Alden Ehrenreich is the name of the guy who's playing Han Solo, and I don't know who the other people are. I'm assuming Chewbacca's in it.
Yeah, Chewie. They, I imagine, are very caring about this.
Well, of course,
film.
Who wouldn't be? I mean, even if it wasn't Han Solo, if it was, the Smurfs 3 or something.
Oh, don't joke about that.
If you fire the director like 2 weeks before you're done, that's insane. I mean, I get it. Okay, so the reports that came out were sort of saying that they clashed from the very beginning, and that they were just not, the producers and the directors did not have a good.
Well, here's what I remember. They were supposed to do the Flash movie.
Well, they're talking about the Flash movie again now that they're free.
Yeah, now that they're a hot topic issue, and studios are going to pay them whatever they want, and they're going to get whatever they want from the studios.
But my thing is, if you're a producer, I don't care if their vision doesn't match up with your vision. You hired them. Either fire them at the beginning after a couple weeks when you realize it's not going to work out, or just wait it out and deal with what you have at the end. Otherwise, this is going to turn into some messed up amalgamation of
you are going to have, and I know that Suicide Squad didn't have two directors, but it had studio interference. You are going to have Suicide Squad. You're going to have two visions. You're going to have scenes that were done of Chris and Phil, and they're going to be like, they're going to look tonally different. The director's style is going to be different. There's going to be like little bits and pieces of their movie that they made, that they worked hard on, like shredded in this pile of fan service, because we know that that's what Star Wars wants.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see Star Wars continue to just be safe. I want to see them try and do something new.
That's
and
what I
exciting.
thought this was,
and that's why I was excited for Han Solo. But instead, it's just going to be safe again, and that's pretty horrible. But oh well. It's really just all a giant big mess. And speaking of messes, Sony
raking in the money. Tell me about him.
So let's talk about Sony. If you remember last week, we talked about them creating their own universe of films revolving around Venom and the Black Cat movie and those two things. And,
yeah, Spider-Verse without Spider-Man.
Right, exactly. And they were going to be separate from the Spider-Man film
trilogy.
But then in an interview last week, Amy Pascal, who is the head producer over at Sony, and she's insane, mind you. I remember back when the Sony, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know Amy Pascal personally, and I have not seen her medical record, so I don't know if she is insane or not.
She could be insane. She could be
But
insane, Ethan.
I remember back when the Sony leaks came out and her emails were out, they were horrible. She's basically illiterate.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's really embarrassing. You guys should look those up. They're really crazy. But this past week, she was in an interview and she was like, "Oh no, yeah, Spider-Man, he can show up." And then they asked Kevin Feige, who is the head of Marvel.
Yeah.
They asked him, "Hey, she said that they're connected. Are they connected?" And he was like, he clearly was taken aback. They obviously hadn't talked about it or anything. He had no idea. So who knows if Spider-Man's going to be a part of the MCU?
Maybe there's going to be 2 competing Spider-Mans.
Yeah, honestly.
Do you know who's going to lose? Sony.
Yeah.
Do you know how many girls are talking about Tom Holland?
You know who always loses?
Who? Sony.
Yeah. But hey, you know what? Maybe they'll win with this Venom movie. And they have a villain for the Venom movie.
Is it the Red Skull? Oh, no, wait, that's Marvel. Is it Electro? Oh, is Jamie Foxx? Oh, is it Jamie Foxx? Electro?
Nope. It's Carnage.
Carnage is not fun.
He's just Red Venom.
He's Red Venom. He's the Carnage kills the Marvel Universe is the least interesting, most dull blank kills the Marvel Universe character.
But I mean, if you're going to go with the movie about a villain, and you have to pick a villain for the villain, you might as well pick a villain who's the exact same villain as your villain.
Grey Hulk's movie villain is the Red Hulk.
It's insane. I
This movie universe is not going to take off.
No, it's going to be an absolute failure. An absolute failure.
They might as well make another Fantastic Four.
Yeah, they might as well. Yeah, so you got Carnage, and speaking of Carnage, you know who left a lot of carnage in his wake? You don't know. Jason Voorhees.
I was going to say Saddam Hussein.
Well, good enough. So Jason is obviously the big baddie in Friday the 13th, but maybe not anymore.
What?
Yeah, we've got an issue here between the Friday the 13th rights for the film. So there are 2 different writers who are quarreling over the rights of the movies. One of them is claiming rights to the character of Jason, and the other one is claiming rights to the character of the name Friday the 13th, as in the films themselves.
There's been like 45 million versions of these movies.
There have been a lot, but I can tell you that they continue to make money somehow because there's still a fan base out there. And
Andy, like, for audience members who don't know, Andy's my older brother. He loves stuff that everyone loves. So he loves like Jurassic Park and everything. And he sees like the Friday the 13th Friday the 13th collection at like Walmart for like $80. He's like, it's only $80, dude. Let's get all of them. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So one thing that people forget is that in the first Friday the 13th movie, Jason isn't actually the villain. It's Jason's mom, which is a really interesting part of the movie. That movie is...
Ethan, didn't we watch this movie on Halloween?
No, we watched Halloween.
We watched Halloween.
That's
on
Mike
Halloween.
Myers.
That's Mike. Oh, well, I actually can't tell the difference between any of these movies.
Or is it... No, that's Michael Myers. Excuse me. Mike Myers is...
It's Shrek.
Yeah.
Is Shrek the villain?
Yeah, same difference. So, I see one of 2 ways with this. Either you make a movie and you just call it Jason... and you don't bring in the Friday the 13th, or you call
People
it...
will know.
Yeah, exactly. And that's fine. You don't have to say Friday the 13th. Or you just remake the first one, and you don't have Jason be the villain. You just have it be the mom again. Anthony, which of those 2 would you rather see? I mean, in a perfect world, you'd rather not see another Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I'd rather see people...
We're going to get one of them. Which one would you like to see?
I feel like Jason would be a cool enough title if Logan didn't come out this year. Because that'd be the only thing that would tie me in. I'm like, what's Jason about? Let's go see Jason. What's that going on? I'd rather see the mom villain, dude. That sounds interesting.
It's really crazy, actually. But it'll be a long time before we see either of those 2 outcomes because it's just they're all tied up in a big courtroom battle. And speaking of courtroom battles,
is there going to be a Phoenix Wright movie?
No, I'm not
boo.
sure who wants that.
Ooh, I want that.
Okay, Anthony. Speaking of courtroom battles, you got Inside Out, and they are being sued.
Inside Out?
The movie Inside Out, Pixar
Not
film.
Pixar, but
Pixar
Inside Out.
Well, excuse me. Pixar is being sued for stealing the idea for Inside Out.
Stealing the idea. Well, this is not the first time Disney has stolen an idea, but this is the first time I've heard about Pixar. What's the deal here?
All right, so I looked into it, and the person who is suing them is this crazy. She's a children's book author, if you can call it that. She's not very acclaimed or successful at any rate, and she wrote a couple of books called The Moodsters.
The freaking Moodsters?
The Moodsters.
You don't remember the Moodsters? I've
No.
never heard of
Yeah,
this.
they look like the Oogie Loves, and
Ugh, dude, don't bring those up. Do not give me nightmares.
they are anthropomorphized emotions that solve mysteries for some reason.
So that isn't Inside Out, though.
No, it's not Inside Out at all. And I
It's just emotions who are alive.
Yeah,
That's
and
been
there are 5 emotions, but instead of having disgust, the other one is love, and she's the only girl out of the other 4 are all guys, because, naturally, a girl can't be anger or happiness or any of that thing. She has to be love.
Because then they're going to get all the jokes.
Right, so I have no idea who this woman thinks she is. She's crazy.
She's not going to get the money.
She's insane.
The only people, Disney's been sued quite a few times.
Yeah, and they always win because
They
they're the
lost-
most powerful people on the face of the
They
earth.
lost Frozen, though.
What did they lose in Frozen?
They lost, something like, I think they agreed on a settlement of like $600 million or something like that.
Oh, that's right, for the Ice Queen.
The Eiskönigin, that is German for the Ice Queen.
Yes,
Because it was a direct ripoff of the story, and unlike Cinderella, they did not check to see if they had a license for that.
Yeah, but that's different because it's not like in that rendition, Elsa was solving mysteries. Or
No,
anything.
it's so
It's
dumb.
absurd. It's ridiculous.
so dumb.
I mean, that woman is clearly asleep at the wheel, but she wasn't the only one who was asleep this week.
Who was asleep this week?
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
We got our first image from Deadpool 2, and it's,
I saw it to Ryan. I didn't mean to see that when Ryan Reynolds tweeted something out. So.
yeah, it's a picture of him. It's Deadpool napping in front of the Xavier School for the Gifted. So, Anthony, what do you think that means for Deadpool 2?
Well, I think that they're going to stick with there not being a lot of big X-Men in the movie. Ryan Reynolds and the old director.
What are you talking about? Negasonic Teenage Warhead is the biggest X-Men character alive.
Do you know who You Go Girl is?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Audience members.
Is this a Yu-Gi-Oh nonsense?
No. Shut your face. Shut your mouth. Audience members, break out your X-Men lore book that I know you all have. And Google this. You Go Girl. You Go Girl was a superhero, and she had like teleporting powers, I think. But she was a heroin addict, and she got her name because she was fighting with the X-Men, right? She got accepted into the school, and she was learning how to be an X-Men, and her top got ripped off, and a girl in the crowd said, "You go, girl." And from then on, she was You Go Girl, the heroin-using, top-off-taking X-Men.
I'd watch it.
Wow, make me a You Go Girl movie. Remember when Anna Kendrick was supposed to be Squirrel Girl?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Like, that was ever actually going to be a thing.
Dumbest thing.
But you know what? Maybe Squirrel Girl will be in Avengers Infinity War, because apparently there's a scene in Avengers Infinity War that will feature more than 30 characters in action.
Is that all of them or no?
I have no idea. Probably. I mean, I can't think of. Okay, let's
More than 30?
more than 30 characters in action. That
Ethan,
was the
this is
exact
what
quote.
this is what. Okay, so Ethan and I have been talking about the idea of Infinity War for about a year and a half now.
Yeah, literally ever since they announced it.
It cannot work.
It's basically physically impossible to make a movie about that many characters and have them focus on each of them
As
to an
if
adequate
they're
amount.
because what it's going to be is a series of one-liners from every, like, just to be like, don't forget about Ant-Man. He's going to be like, that's a big deal, and everyone's going to be like, he said big deal because it's a big deal, and then it's going to flash back to Iron Man, and he's going to be like, billionaire playboy philanthropist, and there's going to be a guy in the audience like, that's from the first one. It's not going to be a movie. It's going to be a shit show of here's your ticket, say this line, go home. Jimmy Kimmel, I watched this today. Jimmy Kimmel had Chadwick Boseman on, for the
He's Black Panther.
Black
for those
Panther
of you who
movie.
don't know.
Because you hear Chadwick and you think he's a multi-billionaire.
Probably.
Did you hear Chadwick Boseman just bought out Sony? That sounds like a real story. But Chadwick Boseman is the actor who plays Black Panther and Wakanda and all that stuff. And Jimmy was starting to ask him about Infinity War, because they're filming both of the movies, the Infinity War movies, because like Infinity War Part 2 isn't called Part 2 anymore, but it's still going to be.
Yeah, they're filming them all as one film.
Because it just saves money, it saves time. Sequels are done that way.
As usual, they did it with Harry Potter. They did it with The Hobbit. It's a normal thing.
And so Chadwick goes, I'm going down there to film one movie. And he goes, but they're filming two. He goes, I'm going down there to film one movie. And he goes, that's interesting.
So you're saying people think he's going to die?
Are you going? He asked that. He's like, well, he goes, they are like this. He goes, Marvel and them are like the CIA. So I have to say one movie. And he goes, and he starts like asking him other questions. He starts being dodgy. And he goes, Guardians of the Galaxy are going to be in that movie. And he goes, if you say so. And he goes, they were on my show and they said so. He goes, oh, did they tell you? Oh, then yeah, they're going to be in the movie. He's like, have you seen all of the actors, all the characters? He goes, no. He goes, I've seen maybe 7, 8 at a time. He goes, have you all interacted? He goes, no. I mean, I've interacted with them, but when I go to film, they're not like, some of them aren't there. Some of them are there. Weird ones are there. Characters I've never even heard of before. He goes, are they introducing new characters? And he goes, no. So they're not going to introduce anyone new.
Yeah. I mean, I understand him. He doesn't want to be shot in the back of the head like Marvel would do. They're very particular about this.
But that 30, that's going to be
crazy.
Awful.
You can't do it.
Is it going to be Airport Scene version 2?
Yeah.
But
Airport
worse.
Scene is fine. It was an enjoyable little bit of action, but there were no stakes. I didn't feel anything watching it. But you know what I am going to feel watching?
Mm-hmm.
A Dog's Purpose 2.
No.
A sequel.
Well, that movie is just appalling. Just an appalling movie, that movie was.
My name is Bailey.
Bailey.
Yeah, they're getting a sequel about a dog that comes back to life again.
I don't know who brought who brought it up to me this week. Could you take a guess?
Is it your girlfriend?
It was my girlfriend. She
Hey,
goes,
babe.
Shut up. She goes, hey, let's do something. I don't listen to half the things she says. Let's do something. That's not true. That's for comedic effect, everyone. She goes, I forget what she was saying. As I say, I listen to her, I forget what she says. And then she goes, let's watch A Dog's Purpose, because that's like my favorite movie. And I just looked at her. I was like, that's your favorite movie? Like, that's something you want to watch?
Why would you want... No offense to Anthony's girlfriend.
No, it's full offense. What the hell's wrong with her?
Why would you want to watch a movie in which a dog dies repeatedly a second time?
Well, then again, my girlfriend wants to watch the Emoji Movie, Despicable Me 3.
Yes, but the emojis and the minions don't die repeatedly throughout the film.
No, I'm saying she has bad taste in movies.
Oh, well, maybe she'll be excited for a sequel to A Dog's Purpose. I don't know what it's going to be about. All I know is that...
How low budget was the first movie?
Not considerably, but apparently it made a lot of money in China, which is why it's getting a sequel.
Oh, because they thought it was a buffet.
Yeah, maybe they'll just...
This new Golden Corral commercial is really long.
Maybe they'll just make it into Hachi, a Dog's Tale. I don't know.
I liked Hachi. Screw you.
I can't figure out why it's getting made. It's really puzzling me. Jigsaw puzzling me. Saw 8's going to be called Jigsaw.
Saw 8 is going to be called Jigsaw?
Yeah. They're making an 8th Saw film for some reason.
Isn't there already like 1,000?
There's 7. That's why they're making an 8th one.
No, because like I thought that there is a spin-off, like an unofficial spin-off that my uncle made.
To my knowledge, there are 7
like
numbered
Saw
official
films, yeah.
Saw movies.
You want to play a game?
The first one's really twisted and really cool. It's really interesting. It's got one of the best twists I've ever seen in a movie.
Cut off your own leg.
But I I didn't watch anything after that because I wasn't interested beyond that, because none of these horror franchises ever work out after like the second one at least. But I guess they're gonna try with Saw 8. I mean, Jigsaw's a cool title. I like that better than Saw 8. It's like Jason, you know what I mean?
I can agree with that.
Yeah, it's cool. You know exactly what it is, unless you're some old grandmother who's like, I want to go see the puzzling movie.
Is that like a Pixar movie where they're little jigsaw?
Little puzzle. One little puzzle piece gets lost from the rest.
From the creator of A Dog's Purpose.
Searching for the last corner piece.
It'd be one of those like where it's like from the creators who brought you like A Secret Life of Pets and everything. It'd be like The Secret Life of Puzzles, Jigsaw.
Yeah.
What if puzzles were alive?
I don't know, Anthony. What if puzzles were alive?
Nothing interesting.
That would be quite the interesting world.
Yeah.
Jurassic World.
Oh, don't bring Jurassic World 2 into this.
Jurassic World 2's got a title.
Is it called Jurassic World 2 or?
No.
Oh.
Jurassic World 2 Electric Boogaloo.
I got excited.
And no, it's going to be called Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
That is an awful title.
I'm really not jazzed about it at all, honestly. And I'm a big...
I would just like Jurassic World 2. I could just...
I could jam with that, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever. It wasn't Jurassic... No, it was The Lost World, wasn't it?
Yeah, but Jurassic Park 2 was just Jurassic Park 2.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The Lost World was the third one.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you're right. Why not just call it Jurassic World 2? Who cares? I'm a fan of elusive titles. I like them. But Fallen Kingdom just doesn't work for me. Like, I hear it, and I just go, oh, God.
It's just going to be more callbacks to the first movie.
Well, I don't know, because they brought in a really good director this time around.
Who is it?
His name's J.A. Bayona, and he directed A Monster Calls, which I really enjoyed.
Oh, the one that came out last year?
Yeah, and it felt a lot like a Spielberg movie, but updated for modern times.
Is that Damien Spielberg, my neighbor?
Yeah, okay.
Like David, he makes me good coffee. I didn't know he makes movies.
But anyway, so yeah, I think Bayona could do a good job, and Fallen Kingdom is a lame title, but hopefully it won't be.
Isn't the director of the first Jurassic World directing the 9th Star Wars movie?
Yes, Colin Trevorrow. And pretty much everyone hated the Book of Henry but me. Loved the Book of Henry, thought it was great. And I don't blame him for Jurassic World. I think Jurassic World was another scenario of the studio pushing around a director and trying to shove in, try and make as much money as possible, but oh well. But you know what studio can't push around a director?
Who can't push around a director?
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
They can't push Patty Jenkins.
Patty
around.
freaking Jenkins! Wonder Woman.
So the big news last week was she had not signed on to direct Wonder Woman 2.
Yes.
She still has not officially signed on to direct it.
She's going to do it.
But she is officially writing the script with Jeff Johns.
I like Jeff Johns. He wrote the first script.
Yeah, Jeff Johns is, he's the comic book guy. And I have no doubt in my mind that Patty Jenkins will direct the film. It's just a matter of when. You know what I mean? It'll be further down the road. She just has to haggle
It's
for
going to
what
be
she
it's
wants.
going to be after Green Lantern Corps in 2020.
Oh, that's right.
Or it will take the place of Cyborg.
Whenever they realize that their current plan isn't working, they'll just throw another one out and be like, here you go, Wonder Woman 2.
Well, they're doing Catwoman.
What?
No.
No.
Oh, sorry, Batgirl.
Yep, Batgirl, Gotham City Sirens, just all sorts of nonsense. But I just thought I would throw that out there, to follow up our previous story. And
I was sitting down yesterday talking about this very show with a real person, okay?
this show?
This very
Two skinny
show.
dudes?
2 skinny dudes plugged on our own show, 2 skinny dudes.
Hey, listen to
You guys ever heard of 2 skinny dudes on SoundCloud? Oh, those guys.
Oh, you haven't?
They have a YouTube
No surprise.
channel. Yeah. And it was the girl I was talking to, she goes, I know you guys like Wonder Woman, but I don't know anything else about it. And it was like, exactly. Like, I don't want to spoil anything for you. She goes, I know you guys like the director, and I know you guys like the movie.
Yeah, I guess we didn't really talk about it.
Yeah, we haven't really said much, but
Read my review. I'll link it in the YouTube video.
Ethan does reviews, but other than that, we're just gonna keep up the elusiveness.
Yeah, it's great. Watch it.
We might leave some puzzling details.
I think they should spend as much time on the script as possible. I don't want them to rush it. That would be horrible. But I'm also really curious when it's going to take place. Is it going to take place in World War I, World War II, World War Z. World War Z 2 is being directed by David Fincher.
That's a good.
All these
Segues.
segues, Anthony. I'm bringing them full force. I'm really knocking
World
it out.
War
of the park.
Z2.
World War Z2. Okay, so Anthony, you're not as encyclopedic as I am when it comes to film, so I know the name David Fincher doesn't immediately.
I know
jump
David
out to
Fincher.
you. Okay, good.
Yeah.
But some people at home might not. So I'm going to run down the list of movies he's done and tell me if you think World War Z2 will fit in with these.
Okay.
All right, so you got Seven. You got Fight Club. You've got The Social Network. You have Gone Girl. You have Zodiac. You have The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. And then you throw in World War Z.
Okay.
2.
Here's the thing, though. All of those movies are good, except for World War Z was a bad movie.
Yep.
And it took them a year to do the scene that looked completely CG of the wall.
Oh, of all the zombie horde climbing the wall or whatever
Yeah, it
that
took
they
them
spoiled in the first trailer.
It took them a year.
Yeah, that movie was an absolute mess.
All the other movies that he's directed are great.
He's honestly my favorite. Brad Bird is my favorite director, but when it comes to directors working long term, it's easily David Fincher. Every movie he's done, I just unabashedly love.
I've seen all of those except for The Social Network.
Social Network is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah,
we're gonna absolutely
we'll watch
love
that
it.
together, dude.
But yeah, you're right. World War Z was a disaster. But you know what else was a disaster?
The earthquakes in Qatar.
What earthquakes in Qatar?
The ones that killed all the people a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a real
Anthony's
thing.
speaking with a smile on his face right now, so I'm assuming that this didn't actually
No, that
happen.
actually, I thought I was going to go with somewhere fake, but I've been listening to Fox News 24/7.
All right, well, sorry, people in Qatar. I didn't.
Sorry about
I don't
that.
know about your death, and I don't really care. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not like Anthony. Anthony's racist and just hates
100%.
everyone.
I hate everyone who's different than me.
Okay. But anyway, the movie that was a absolute mess was Fantastic Four in 2014.
Fan Four Stick?
Yes, Fantastic. And look, Fantastic is a horrible movie, but it's a movie that I enjoy watching simply because it's so unbelievable. Everything that happened with the movie, the director,
the different visions with the
all of
movie,
that, they cut the movie without even talking to him. All of this nonsense.
the reshoots were used on a different camera. Even
There are semblances of a good movie in there. There are really interesting parts that you can tell would have been cool if they didn't just Frankenstein his movie into an absolute nonsensical film. But to date now, there have been 3 Fantastic Four movies. All of them have been horrible.
None of them have broken 38% ratings.
They've been critically panned completely. So you know what that tells me? Why don't we just do it again?
And make it a cartoon movie?
Nope. They have planned for a reboot. And you know what? Don't look at my notes.
Okay, I'm not looking.
Anthony, tell me how you think a Fantastic Four reboot could actually work.
We open with Reed Richards and the Human Torch, and they're kissing. Okay, hold on. Okay, it's 2017, Ethan. Okay.
Yeah, well, the other one came out in 2014. Everyone freaked out about the Human Torch being
black. Okay, well then we'll scale it back a bit. They're holding hands.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, the Invisible Girl shows up, but she's not invisible yet because it's still an origin story. Because they would do that, they would do that. They would do another
origin story. Why not?
And she goes, "Hey, quit holding hands, you Beauregards." And Human Torch is like, "Sis, I was just handing him these super cool documents for his science stuff." Okay, and she's like, "Oh, as long as you guys weren't being little Beauregards." And then she kisses Reed Richards because they're together. Because we're gonna skip all the development because we don't have time for that in this movie. Okay.
This is the opening scene.
This
of
is
the
the
film.
opening scene. We do not have. We
goes Fox. Here you go.
we are 20th Century Fox. We do not have time to set up character development. We've made that clear in all of our other movies. Okay. So they're automatically together. We skip at least 30 minutes of developing a character relationship. Bam, they're already together. Okay. And then what's his fate? They flash to a tower, and it's who's the villain again?
Dr. Doom.
Doctor Doom, who's actually a compelling villain in the comics, but
Dr. Victor Von Doom.
but somehow sucks in every single one of the movies.
Speaking of which, where did he get his PhD? Where do you get a PhD in Doom, Anthony?
Trump University. That was a political joke.
Good job, Anthony.
Thank you.
All right, well, that's a pretty decent idea.
Yeah, I like it.
And honestly, as bad as that pitch was, Anthony, it's not worse than the pitch that they had.
No, that was not a bad. That was what I think they are going to do.
Okay, so look, with the first movie back in like 2004, the one that had Captain America in it, Jessica Alba and all that, those movies,
good actors.
those movies were cartoony, and cartoony didn't work. So then they were like, okay, let's make it dark and gritty. And Josh Trank's original idea was to make it a horror film, which would have been really cool. But then they were like, nope, we're just going to make it a dark and gritty action movie. And that didn't work. So the third idea, third time's the charm, is to make it a kid-friendly Fantastic Four reboot centered around Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic's kids.
Well, I was right about them already being together. So
Yeah. So it's not an origin story. You were wrong about that. But the movie is going to be Spy Kids, but with the Fantastic Four, and it's going to be the two kids, and then the Human Torch and the Thing are just kind of there.
Yeah, they haven't had kids yet
Because he's a rock man and he's on fire. So,
yeah, he's a rock man, and the other guy's too busy slaying chicks, dude.
Literally slaying chicks because he catches on fire and burns them to death.
Yep, dying.
Honestly, I cannot believe how stupid this pitch is.
So it's the Fantastic. When are they going to realize? Okay, well, I don't know, because it took Batman to the point of hilarity of how bad it was before it got to be the greatest, one of the greatest trilogies of all time.
Arguably, we wouldn't have gotten Batman Begins without Batman and Robin being so laughably stupid.
But here's the thing, though. Like you brought up that they were going to have it have Fantastic Four or Van Forstick as a horror movie, the newest one.
Yes.
The reason The Dark Knight is so good is because it's a comic book movie that isn't focused on it being a comic. It's treated like a real movie.
It's just a movie. It's a thriller, but not with Michael Jackson, but with Batman and the Joker.
Yeah, it's using comic book characters to further a plot, which is what a movie is supposed to be. Now, I liked the subgenre of comic book movies. I liked Wonder Woman. I liked
Wonder
the Winter
Woman
Soldier.
is the best example of just a pure comic book film that's fun and engaging.
Yeah,
but that didn't work for them because they tried that with the first Fantastic Four movie. It's insane. Who wants to see? Do you know the names of the Fantastic Four's kids? Nope.
Ooh.
No, I don't. Are they invisible? Are they invisible and stretchy? Like, what even is it? I don't understand.
No, the boy is going to be invisible and stretchy, and the girl is only going to have force fields until at the end of the movie she realizes that she can tap into her potential and she's going to develop another power or something stupid.
Oh, it's like the ending of The Incredibles.
Yes, but really, really worse.
Sweet. Okay, so that's all the news we have, but we do have some trailers. So if you weren't here last week, the idea is I don't watch trailers at all, but they are big news in the movie world, and I understand that. So what we do is I pick 3 titles of trailers that came out this week, and then Anthony and I predict what we think the trailer was like without knowing anything, without having watched it. We just have the title.
And we don't watch it afterwards. We just kind of sit with it in our minds, and that's what the trailer was.
Okay, so the first title is called The Only Living Boy in New York.
Very simple, Ethan. This is about a young girl and her journey through Los Angeles, okay? And she's the only one.
She's going on a journey through Los Angeles, and then all of a sudden, after many failed acting attempts, she realizes she really wants to become a man.
It is a very good transgender movie. So she moves to the most liberal place in the world,
Big Apple,
New York City.
Yeah, because when I think if I want to go someplace that's more liberal than Los Angeles, I want to go to New York City. That's a good idea.
So she moves out to New York. She goes, I'm going to get a scarf and be a man, because all the men wear scarves there, I hear. That's what I hear. Never been, but I just assume. And
I'm taking a bite out of the big Adam's apple.
that's the tagline on the movie poster. And the entire movie is about her feeling like she's the only one of her kind until she meets a transgender girl, right? Because it was a boy, became a girl, and then they get married.
That's beautiful, Anthony.
I think it is.
Okay, so trailer. That's the trailer. There you go. That's
You don't even need to watch it because that's the trailer.
Trailer number 2 is for Annabelle Creation. This is the sequel to Annabelle, the spin-off of the Conjuring films. Annabelle Creation. I'm assuming it's about the creation of the doll itself. So it's probably starts out in some creepy little factory, and it's all dark and everything, and there's only the light of the moon streaming in, and this old man is just tapping away on this Annabelle doll, and it's the year 1896. 1896. He's just tapping away on this doll, and then we hear a loud screeching noise, and they do the strobe light effect that they do in all the horror trailers.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden the doll is gone.
Oh.
And he drops his little toy hammer, and it goes pink on the floor, pink, 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 and then silence. And then you hear the door creak.
Okay.
And then Annabelle jumps up the screen, and that's the end of the trailer.
It's only 40 seconds long.
40 seconds.
At max.
Or it's about Adam and Eve. And
their first kid,
Annabelle, who gets
trapped into a doll.
Yeah, after they bite the forbidden fruit, God's like, okay, get out of the Garden of Eden, and I'm going to doom your daughter to be a porcelain doll. I'd watch it.
I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see what that movie's about, but I'm pretty sure that one of those is the trailer.
Last one, Anthony, is one that I know you're very excited about.
Oh, no. Here we go.
Pitch Perfect 3.
No! What?
Okay, Anthony doesn't like these movies for some reason. I think they're fun. I think they're just a good, fun time.
Oh, crap, dude. No, this can't be made yet. I thought I had time.
No, Anthony.
I thought I had time to salvage, I thought I had time to, take in how bad the second one was.
The second one was fine, Anthony.
No, shut up.
It
up.
had cute moments.
Shut up. Shut your face. Here's the trailer. Anna Kendrick, not in the movie. I don't know.
She's in the movie.
Okay. Anna Kendrick, opening scene. She's walking through a recording studio, and she's talking to someone, and the big studio guy goes, all we need you to do is sign this contract, and your life will be changed forever. And she goes, okay, I'm gonna have to think about it. I'm gonna have to go back and talk to my pitches, and they're gonna have to tell me about these movies are awful. They're gonna have to tell me what I'm supposed to do, right? And then there's a riff in, what are they called? The Bellas.
The Acapellas.
No, they're the Barton Bellas.
Oh, I'm sorry. They're ripped off of someone called the Acapellas.
Oh, they really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
An actual group, they're
kind of like how Anna Kendrick stole the song.
Sure. Yeah. Well, she didn't. The writers.
The writers did, yeah. And they go back, and she's like, guys, I got offered this contract. They saw what we do, and they saw me, and they want to sign me. And I've already talked to, who's the love interest again?
I have no idea.
What's his name? Let's call him Daniel.
Okay, Daniel.
The
Magic Kid.
Yeah.
Wait,
No, not the Magic Kid. The movie kid. The movie kid. These are how forgettable these movies are.
The guy who says that the best ending to any movie ever is at the end of The Breakfast Club.
Like how every teenager thinks.
How he's absolutely 100% wrong, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Love The Breakfast Club, not the best ending. Go ahead.
And the fat Amy chick goes, well, what about us?
Oh, but come on, man. You're going to take me on tour with you?
Yeah. I thought we were in this to get. What kind of accent is she?
She's Australian.
And she goes, what about us?
I showed my vagina to the president.
Oh, yeah.
That was the opening of the
second movie. I forgot about that. And then they go to the black lesbian. Was she in the second one?
Yes, she was.
She was. And she's like, yeah, what about us? And so that caused...
she just makes out with the Chinese girl
who doesn't talk. Oh, if that wasn't an obvious setup from the first one, what is? And then it flashes to what's the guy who sort of became famous from this movie? He was in the rival group, the boys from the same school.
Oh, the guy from Workaholics.
Yeah, Workaholics guy. He's kind of funny.
What is that dude's name?
Adam
Devine.
Adam Devine.
Not Adam Levine.
Adam Devine. And it flashes to
Yeah,
him.
he's kind of funny.
Yeah,
I like him.
he's probably the
And
best.
I like the Pitch Perfect movies, mind you. I'm
I
different than Anthony.
Don't
But
like
it's
them.
good because if we had the same opinions, this whole podcast would be stupid.
Yeah. And it flashes to him and he's like, he hears about it, right? He's like, hey, it goes to the guy. He's like, hey, your girl is going to leave, right? And she's going to leave you. And then you got to come with me on tour because I got signed or something stupid, right? And then it flashes to the Magic Kid and he's like singing a song in the mirror, right? But we don't know it's the mirror. He's like saying all this romantic stuff. He's like, you girl, you're the one for me. And I love you. He's singing and everything. And it flashes to the mirror and he goes, that's what I'm going to tell her. I guarantee you that's a scene in the movie. I guarantee you.
So all of that is in the trailer.
No,
I love that our trailers are just the plot of the film. But I mean, that's why I don't watch trailers, is because they're the plot of the film.
International trailers are just
International trailers are horrible.
they're just the entire movie in 5 minutes.
Okay, so I think the perfect transition from Pitch Perfect into music news is for us to give our best a cappella rendition of any song. So
Okay.
you do the lyrics and I'll do your backing.
Okay, do what's an awful song we can do? It's got to be a rap song, obviously, because it's not a acapella if it's not a rap that white people have to do slowed down.
Let's do No Diggity because you hate it when they do that in the first one.
Yeah, and we don't know all the words.
Yeah, okay. Anthony's gonna do the lyrics. I'll back.
Okay, go ahead. Is that the music?
I don't know.
Is that
Go
the
ahead. Do your lyrics and I'll find you.
What's the opening? Like to bag it up. What is this? How does the song even go?
I like the way you work it.
I like the way you work it. No, that's the end chorus.
No,
That's the
it doesn't
that's
matter.
the part I get pissed off about, Ethan. This is why these movies are bad.
Hey yo,
They gotta bag it up.
now. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Music news. Anthony, do we have anything?
We have two things.
Sweet.
I just can't believe Pitch Perfect 3 is coming out. I just can't. I have to text my
Christmas, man.
I have to text my girlfriend's mom.
Oh, you know she loves those movies. Your girlfriend has to love those movies.
She played covers of them in the car.
Covers.
Like
Covers of the covers.
She goes, I love Pitch Perfect covers. I'm gonna have to tell her mom to not let her know that's a real thing. So the Zora Orchestra is teaching young girls how to play instruments and they travel. And it's really cool. I just thought that was a really nice thing.
Zora?
The Zora.
Isn't that the name of the kid in Kingdom Hearts?
That's Sora. The Zora.
I apologize.
The Zora are from
I'm not
Legend of
actually
Zelda.
a fan. I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Now, here's the big old piece of music, big old bite of juicy music news for you. G-Dragon's USB Drive album is not being recognized in Korea as an actual album.
What do you mean, USB drive album? Is that the name of it?
That's the name of it.
Okay, and why isn't it being recognized?
I believe that's the name of it. And it is being distributed digitally though. There's this place in Korea that's like the official, like they keep their track of their 100 or whatever, you know, their top selling albums.
The Billboard charts.
Yeah. They only count physical sales of albums, right? And so they're not recognizing his music because it's not on an album yet.
Screw you, G-Dragon.
That's basically what they're saying. You know, he got under flack recently. And G-Dragon, for anyone who's like, I don't know who that is, it's because he's a K-pop star.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. I actually know who he is because I was a big K-pop fan in 7th grade.
I don't listen to K-pop because I'm not a loser.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who I don't know who would listen to K-pop.
Anthony listens to K-pop.
I don't. I used to in like 7th and 8th grade.
He did. I remember.
Ethan can testify to that. But he was part of this group.
So I was when you said G-Dragon, I thought this was some loser rapper guy who.
Yo, this is G-Dragon.
But this is like literally Korea not recognizing their own star or whatever.
Because okay, the way Korea makes their stars is insane. It's not like here where who got famous off of American Idol?
David Archuleta.
Anyone else?
He was on an episode of iCarly.
David Archuleta. Woo! I remember that episode.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I don't watch.
Was Christina Perry?
Probably.
So Christina Perry. It's not like where she could just go on a show and be like, I can sing really good and I have tits, and then they can make her a celebrity. It's they pick and choose. No, this is serious. They pick and choose.
You go, girl.
You go, girl. Is Christina Perry to play You Go, Girl in the next Deadpool movie. They pick their stars from like 10, right? And they go, you audition and audition and audition. You guys show potential. We're going to workshop you and see who you work well with and see if you work better solo and see if you can work solo while also being in the group. And we're going to hide you for 5 years. And you are going to train how to dance. You're going to train how to sing. You're going to train how to eat, sleep, and breathe K-pop. You're going to train how to tour. You're going to train how to do all this stuff. And you're going to stay hidden until we're ready to make you the next big thing.
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
And you know how much money they make?
Like nothing. Peanuts?
Billions of dollars.
Oh, well.
Remember, what's that big group they're big here? What's their name? Like they're legitimate, like everyone sees.
5 Seconds of Summer?
I don't believe they're a K-pop group. I think they're
K-pop. I misunderstood. I thought you were saying...
I believe they're J-pop, actually.
I thought you were saying a big...
No, but they're a K-pop group, but they're really big here.
Why do you think I would know, Anthony?
Because they appeared in like the MTV Music Awards and stuff like they've appeared like everywhere. But
they're assumingly make a lot of money.
They make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
it's compensation for ruining their childhoods.
Yeah, I would imagine.
All right, so let's get into the topic of the day. Why don't we?
Cartoon TV shows to be adapted into a film.
Yeah, cartoons that actually should be adapted into movies, unlike Transformers.
That just should have stayed the 1980s Transformers film.
Yeah.
That should have been what it was.
Okay, so Anthony, what do you got?
I'm going to start off with a softball, but it's just going to be good. Hey, Arnold.
Hey, Arnold.
Hey.
Oh, that's cute.
Dude, you know how cute that film would be?
That'd be really cute.
Urban, you got like...
Hey, Arnold!
Football head! Dude, that'd be cute.
Yeah, that'd be fun, and everyone loves those movies. Those Nickelodeon stuff. Actually, Rocko's Modern Life is being made into a movie.
Rocko's Modern Life?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a TV movie or not, which is why I didn't mention it in the news, but that's a thing that's happening.
That's cool. We have a friend, and she'll go crazy over a Hey Arnold movie.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got a couple. First off, Ben 10.
I have a problem with that, Ethan. There have been like 3 live-action Ben 10 movies.
I'm saying an actual theatrical film.
But Ethan, the Cartoon Network ones were so good.
Okay, you can't judge a property based off of a Cartoon Network original film.
Well, they're going to be the ones overseeing the property.
Can you name a good Cartoon Network original film?
The second Scooby-Doo.
The Curse of the Lake Monster?
Yeah.
No.
That was a great film.
No.
Great
Cartoon
film.
Network Scooby-Doo movies are horrible.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And Cartoon Network is owned by Warner Brothers. So it'd be Warner Brothers who's making They would be the ones who would make it.
Would you? Okay, here's a question, because Ben 10's been redone like 1,000 times now, and he has like a billion monsters or aliens that he transforms into.
For those of you who have never seen it, Ben 10 is a show about a little kid who has a magic watch. Maybe not magic.
It's not magic. It's an alien watch.
And he uses it, and he can turn into aliens, and he like fights crime and stuff.
It used to be like
it's a really cool idea.
Yeah, like when we were a kid, like the original Ben 10, he had a set like list of like in his watch.
10 aliens.
He had 10 aliens, and he used them. There was like a speed one. There was one that could like transform into fire, accelerate.
Yeah. Forearms.
Forearms.
Just a thing with a forearm.
Just a thing with just a big red thing with forearms. And he's like, I'm going to transform into forearms. I'm going to transform into 2 legs. I'm going to transform into paraplegic. And he just stays there.
Yeah.
But then over the years, he developed more aliens, and like he upgraded his Omnitrix, dude. I remember all this stuff
Omnitrix.
now. Omnitrix is the name of the watch.
Yes.
He upgraded it in like I've watched legitimately every Ben 10 series up until the newest one.
Yeah, there have been like 5 iterations.
Yeah, but it's all actually interconnected at this point, except for the last one. The last one was like a reboot. I watched them all because like the last one was like when I was like 13, and at that point it was still socially acceptable to play with Legos. So of course I watched Ben 10.
Yeah, Ben 10's a.
But he's added like 1,000 different more aliens because now he can like scan more, and he's got like I think he's like back when I remember he had like well over like 1,000 aliens he could transform into.
Wow. Well, with the movie, you just go with the classic one.
I think you do the classic one.
Yeah.
That's what kids will remember.
So.
All right, mine. I've got BoJack Horseman.
Oh, the Netflix show.
Netflix BoJack Horseman. BoJack Horseman, for anyone who doesn't know, if you're an adult, I would recommend watching it. If you're a kid, don't tell your parents you watched it. But I still would recommend it. I mean, hey, look, dude, if it's the parents' fault, it's the parents' fault, okay?
If it's the parents'
I can only recommend what I recommend. I'm in charge of that. BoJack Horseman is this hilarious and weird and like low budget looking cartoon about this horse who lives in LA, and it deals he's like a person but like a horse head. It's really weird. There's like these creatures around, like they're all like they're either people or they're animals that look like people, but it's like accepted. That's just how their world works, and he like deals with like alcoholism and like a fall from fame, and it's like it's a really deep and introspective like show that is somehow like it's very hilarious too. And I think that if you did it right, you could make a very compelling movie.
Okay, that I believe you. Yeah, that's a cool one. I know a lot of people that see the show and they really like it. I haven't watched it yet. I have one. I say, just make an animated. Have DreamWorks make an animated Looney Tunes movie. You don't need Space Jam or Brendan Fraser driving a car through the sky.
Hey, Brendan Fraser was a great one.
That one was an unbelievably bad movie, Anthony. But yeah, just do that. It'd be great. It's easy. They're funny characters. Just do a little slapstick humor. You throw them all in there and make an animated movie. It's perfect. Just do it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see because there have been so many iterations of the
You'd
films.
have to have really good writers though,
Yes.
because otherwise.
All right, mine. Animaniacs.
Oh yeah.
They're
Yeah.
tiny. They're toony. They're all a little loony.
So what are you doing for the whole film? Are you gonna have them just name all of the 50 states 1,000 times?
And I would have it sort of like a Who Framed Roger Rabbit type.
Oh, that'd be cute.
I think so. I'd really like to see that.
Yeah. One last one from me that I think you'll enjoy. Young Justice.
Young freaking Justice.
Anthony loves that show, and I liked it too. I watched it.
They're making
it was
season
out.
3.
Yeah, it was really good. And I mean, DC doesn't know what they're doing right now anyway.
So they might even do
Yeah,
it.
they're just like, whatever, Young Justice, kids like teenagers, let's do it.
Instead of doing Teen Titans, we do Young Justice because that would make more sense because they have more characters to introduce.
Yeah. You got any more?
One more. The Boondocks.
Whoa.
For those of you who don't know, The Boondocks is an Adult Swim show about these two brothers. They're very young African-American men, as in like 10 and 11. Huey and Louie, and they deal with life in the hood. And they deal with life with their grandfather who takes care of them, and he is insane. He is an alcoholic. He just is a crazy dude. He doesn't know anything. His best friend's crazy. Everyone around them is insane except for this one like lawyer who's like their uncle or whatever. And he's like the guy who's like, all right, you got to get straight. But the show is very hilarious, and it deals like with issues you don't think that they would deal with.
Right.
And this would probably need to be. It's a very long running show. And it's got very high quality, like production, got very high quality music. And I think that it would create a good vibe that it could do what a movie like, I don't know, like Crash is trying to do, or tried to do in 2006, but better, and actually have a solution.
Crash is the best movie ever made.
Who says that?
You.
I don't say. I said
Anthony all the time. It's like, Ethan, you gotta watch Crash.
I say you have to watch it because of what it is, not because it has a solution, not because it's even that great of a movie. But it did win an Oscar.
Yeah, you're right. It did.
So, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, Ethan. watch it.
I think Boondocks could be interesting. I've never seen it, but I mean,
There's a niche audience.
yeah,
for it.
yeah. But there was a niche audience for Entourage and that kind of movie. So yeah.
The boys are back.
All right, real quick, some Q&A questions. Real quick, because we've been going for a while here.
Question in answer.
All right, Anthony, what is your I know it sounds weird, but just try it thing?
Big Red.
No, that doesn't sound weird. It sounds nasty, and don't just try it. It's horrible. Big Red's horrible.
Look, I know it sounds weird, but heroin for me.
Try it, you
for
guys.
me.
It's so much fun. I've got a perfect one.
What is it? Ranch with pizza.
It's ranch with something else.
What's that?
Ranch with pizza isn't weird. That's a perfect thing
That's
that everyone
disgusting.
enjoys. It's great. But ranch with strawberries.
What?
Ranch dressing with strawberries.
Hey, it sounds weird.
Those two flavors together are something you would not expect, but are really interesting and really cool. I was just sitting there one day, at a potluck or whatever, and I had, the ranch, and I had the fruit, and I was like, I wonder, and my wondering paid off. It's really good.
Oh, you know what mine actually would be? Mac and Cheetos. So Burger King has this new promotion called Mac and Cheetos, and
Anthony, shut up.
Ethan tweeted about it last night, and I was with my girlfriend, and she likes mac and cheese, so I said, "Hey, let's go get these because you've never had these for sure." And she goes,
right.
"You're right." And so we tried them, and they weren't that bad.
Okay,
so go get them.
Oh, good. They weren't that bad.
They
What
were
a
pretty
glowing
good.
review. Anthony, honest review, 1 out of 10. 10 being the highest, of course.
Okay. Of the
mac and Cheetos.
I thought you were gonna give me something else.
No.
7.
Wow, that's much higher than I was expecting.
Yeah,
I thought
7.
You'd be like 5.
It's not, dude. I'd give it a 7.5 even. Give it a half a point extra.
Okay. All right, I got you. Let's see here. Ooh, what is one music album you can listen to all the way through without skipping songs? We do have a music portion of this show that always gets short-sighted because there's never any music news. So might as well talk about this.
This is a tough one because I could listen to all of Eric Clapton's Unplugged just straight through, just not skip a single track.
Sweet. An album that I think is perfect is Arctic Monkeys AM. Really love that album. Think it's amazing.
I guess another choice of mine.
And I'm not someone who calls himself a hipster who likes indie music, but really just likes Arctic Monkeys. Okay, I like all of the indie music, but I also like Arctic Monkeys.
I think that for me, I'd probably a recent album I could do is Harry Styles.
Yeah, that's a terrific album. Honestly, really, really good.
Just really good.
Anthony, you are leader of your home country. That's America for us.
I'm gonna be the leader of America one day, so just watch out, world.
Well, you're leader for 24 hours. How do you start a civil war?
How do I start a civil war?
Yep.
Sorry if you guys hear a dog barking. We can't get her to be quiet sometimes. How do I start a civil war? There's already one basically going on in America right now. I don't mean to get political, but that's sort of happening. I know what I would do. I'd sign an executive order that says everyone with a red shirt must find another person with a blue shirt and beat each other up.
I've got a good one.
Yeah.
Waffles versus pancakes.
Oh
Just
my
post
God!
that question
Just
as the
post
president and
the
Civil War. There you
POTUS
go.
Twitter account. Waffles were like people on CNN who have like hated each other for years would finally get to be like, if your pancakes are coming over here in my waffle town and making us crime ridden, like, whoa, what is this pancakes coming from over here, CNN commentator? And then they'll jump across the screen and fight each other.
Yeah, good point. Real quick, here we go. Which that guy are you?
The guy who doesn't know when an appropriate time to make a joke is.
Yeah, seriously, Anthony. You're not kidding.
I could be at my own funeral. I'd be making so many jokes. Like, this is the way this dude died. Loser.
I'm that guy that talks about movies long after you are tired of listening. So there you go. Let's go with one last one. Let's see, Anthony, pick one that sticks out to you from this list here.
Ooh, what's your favorite quote from a song, Ethan?
Let's see. Favorite quote from a song. It's got to be a Dave Matthews one, right? Probably. I like my coffee with toast and jelly, but I'd rather be looking from your back to your belly. Anthony.
It says in the song, Anthony.
That's what Reed Richards says to the Human Torch.
Oh, and stop being Beauregard, you queers. Mine would have to be from Changes by Tupac. I'm being serious. I actually legitimately love Tupac.
All eyes on me.
All eyes on me. It would have to be what's that? How's it go? But I got love for my brother, for we can never go nowhere unless we share with each other. You got to learn to hold your own. They get jealous when they see you with your mobile phone.
That's cute.
There's also a line in there that I really like. It's called, you got to learn to see me as a brother instead of two distant strangers. What's the line after that? I really like it. It's like this. I'd listen to the entire song if you're interested at all.
Well, dope. Anthony, where can they find you on social media?
They can find me at Anthony_Garza _music _productions.
Sweet.
I'm not changing my Instagram name. I'm just keeping it that long.
I am on all forms of social media at The Real Brundine. Look at my Twitter. I'm really knocking it out of the park with Twitter lately.
He's been active.
Super inspired on Twitter, so check that out. Anthony?
Always floss between your toes. God bless.